my audience. As you're walking through a local supermarket, your family member begins to have chest pain, collapses in sudden cardiac arrest, and dies. Now, how would you feel if I told you your family member's chances of survival could have increased dramatically? That's right. If that supermarket had an AED, your family member's chances of survival could have increased dramatically. My name is Alex Farlow. I'm a paramedic in the state of Georgia, and I've seen firsthand how valuable AEDs can be. And today, I'd like to take a moment and talk to you about why AEDs should be in every public building, office, and business. First, an AED, or an automatic external defibrillator, is a small medical device. When placed on a patient's chest during cardiac arrest, will evaluate the person's heart rhythm or cardiac rhythm and determine whether or not a shock should be delivered. Depending on the person's heart rhythm depends on whether the AED will advise a shock. If the AED advises a shock, the hopes are that shock will restart the person's heart in a normal rhythm. Now, you're probably wondering why AEDs should be in every public building, office, and business. And that's because statistics show AEDs save lives. According to a 2011 article published in the New England Journal of Medicine, a person's chances of surviving an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest were only 7%. That's only 7 people out of 100 that are surviving from hospital admission to hospital discharge. Those statistics increase dramatically, though, when an AED and CPR are administered promptly. Those statistics increase 6 times to nearly 42%. That's now 42 people out of 100 that are surviving from hospital admission to hospital discharge and are getting to go home to their families. According to the American Red Cross, for every minute that a person has delayed defibrillation, their chances of survival decrease nearly 10%. That means after a 4-minute time period, if you start at 42%, their chances of survival now decrease to nearly 0. Now, many of you are probably saying you don't want to get involved in somebody else's medical issue for fear of being sued. But in the year 2000, President Bill Clinton signed into effect the Federal Cardiac Arrest Survival Act. In addition to providing funding for AEDs and training, this act also eliminated liabilities that a provider or person that administers the AED or anybody who owns the AED and placed it in a place to be used can face. Many states, as well as the state of Georgia, have what's called a Good Samaritan law. This law eliminates the liability that anybody that is acting in good faith will face as they help somebody else in a medical emergency. Furthermore, many insurance companies offer decreased rates for persons who have AEDs or other safety equipment present for use in an emergency. All of these reasons have reduced or eliminated liability, reduced insurance rates, as well as increased chances of survivability are why AEDs should be present in every public building, office, and business. AEDs save lives.
424.